Hello and welcome. My name is Biagio Mazza, Pastoral Associate at St. Sabina Parish in Belton, Missouri, and I'm here to welcome you to another Do You Know series question. Today's Do You Know question is, do you know the meaning and significance of the Mexican celebration of Las Posadas? The dramatic enactments of events in the life of Jesus and from Scripture and the teachings of the Church were very common throughout most of Europe and for many centuries. They were basically used to educate, catechize, teach, and even entertain people who pretty much could not read or write, so they would not have access to the stories and the reading of Scripture from the Bible. So for centuries, these were used to educate and so on. And so when the missionaries that came to the New World, they brought that tradition with them. They also noticed that many of the native people here were actually doing similar things with regards to devotions to their own gods and goddesses through ritual plays, costumes, music, dance, and so on. And so what they did is they adapted and baptized some of these, and as a result of that, you have many creative traditions that developed in which enactments from the life of Jesus, from this Bible story, resulted, some of them that exist to this very day. One of them that is very popular around the Christmas time is the celebration of Las Posadas. Now, Posadas, the actual word itself, posada, means inn or accommodation or dwelling. The Las Posadas retell the story of the difficult pilgrimage that Mary and Joseph had moving from Nazareth to Bethlehem and finding a place in Bethlehem for Mary in her advanced pregnancy. And the difficulty in that, the way it's set up, is that this was a real trial for the two of them as they sought some sort of accommodation or posada. So the entire plot of the story is Jesus and Mary, Joseph and Mary, pregnant with Jesus, obviously is seeking in as they approach Bethlehem, and they are accompanied by pilgrims, companions on the way, and they go from door to door, knocking on the door, asking for some sort of accommodation, a posada, especially in light of Mary's advanced pregnancy. As they go through that, they sing a request. They knock on the door and sing a request to enter and seek accommodation. Typically what happens for a series of places where they knock on the doors, they're refused because they're either not recognized, they don't want people like you around, and so on. But eventually they come to a home where they're recognized for being pilgrims in need of accommodation, and they're welcome in, and all their companions with them are welcome in. And there's a rosary that's prayed as a result of that, and then they have a little celebration with food and drink, as well as possibly the piñatas for children as well. I'd just like to read and share just some of the things that are said in the encounter. The encounter is between those who are outside the door, like Mary, Joseph, and her companion pilgrims, and those inside who refuse the request. Typically, and this is sung, by the way. This is kind of a chanted back and forth, accompanied oftentimes by guitars, as you would along the way. So the pilgrims of Mary and Joseph ask, "Pray, give us lodging, dear sir, in the name of heaven. All day since morning to travel we've given. Mary, my wife, is expecting a child. She must have shelter tonight. Let us in, let us in." And typically from the inside, the response is, "You cannot stop here. I won't make my house an inn. I do not trust you. Your story is thin. You too might rob me and then run away. Find somewhere else to stay. Go away, go away." And so that's a typical response back and forth. And then there's another one. When they go to another door, they do a second kind of a petition. Please show pity. Your heart cannot be so hard. Look at poor Mary, so worn and so tired. We are most poor, but I'll pay what I can. God will reward you, good man. Let us in, let us in. The response from the inside is, you try my patience. I'm tired and must get some rest. I've told you nicely, but still you insist. If you don't go and stop bothering me, I'll fix you, I guarantee. Go away, go away. Finally, they knock at the last door, in which Joseph again pleads, Sir, I must tell you, my wife is the Queen of Heaven, chosen by God to deliver his Son. Jesus is coming to earth on this eve. O heaven, make him believe, let us in, let us in. And finally, the innkeeper responds, Joseph, dear Joseph, oh, how could I have been so blind, not to know you and the Virgin so fine? Enter, blessed pilgrims, my house is your own. Praise be to God on his throne. Please come in, please come in. And so, this celebration of the Posadas, especially in Mexico or in other Latin American countries, goes on for 9 days. Now, and typically what would happen is, it's attended by most people in the particular town or village and so on. Now, and it's usually the end is celebrated with fireworks and food and so on, all right? The 9th day, by the way, the Posada ends in church, where they actually celebrate the ending of the Posadas, and they build the Nacimiento, which is the nativity scene. They prepare that, and then they attend the midnight mass, which is actually referred to in a number of Spanish words. The Christmas Eve is referred to as Noche Buena, the Holy Night or the Blessed Night, and the Midnight Mass is Misa de Gallo, the Mass of the Rooster, meaning that they were up early to participate in the Mass. And as I said, fireworks and festivities celebrate the Christmas season. Poinsettias become the typical flowers for the Noche Buena and so on. In the United States, rarely is it celebrated for 9 days. It's actually just celebrated just one time. However, in this period of worldwide crisis with regards to the migrants, and especially with the United States and the migrants coming from Latin America seeking asylum at our doors, the Posadas speak of significant justice issues where people knocking at our doors, just as Mary and Joseph were not recognized and refused to come in, we too have chosen not to welcome those who have chosen to come in. But Las Posadas speak very powerfully about what our Christian duty should be as followers of Christ. And so I hope that this has helped to explain just a bit of the meaning and significance of the Posada, especially as it applies to us with regards to migrants and asylum seeker knocking at our doors. And I hope you'll return again to More Do You Know series questions. Thank you very much.